Welcome to the Talent Show. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and great. The last few weeks have been busy, but very, very well and fantastic. So, thank you again for your love and support. I hope I have been doing well at producing and getting interviews and episodes out for you lately. I hope you guys have been enjoying them just as much as I've enjoyed talking to these wonderful, lovely people. Uh, but without too much saying, let's introduce our guest for this week, Mr. Billy Mounchan. Woo-hoo-hoo. First of
Yeah, thank
all, Billy, thank you for coming on. It means a lot for
you.
me. You taking some time out your schedule. And how's everything going for you right now? How's life treating you right now, man?
Everything's great. Can't complain. Right now I'm a full-time freelancer, so I create my own schedules and book my own
Yeah,
clients, right? So
that's
freedom.
cool. I want to get into that, but before I do, Billy, do you mind giving the viewers a brief overview about yourself so they can get comfortable with who you are? Tell them where you're from, some things you've been able to do in your life to help you get where you are today, and actually what you're doing right now that's allowed you to come and be on the show with us today.
Cool, cool. First and foremost, thank you, Dalen, not Dylan, for having me on. I gotta let the people know how to pronounce your name correctly as well. Um, I've always been into videography, photography, just kind of like the digital art space. So at an early stage, I would pick up my dad's camera and just kind of start exploring my backyard or my neighborhood, um, family trips, just like creating videos and memories that we could look back. Translation to making it a career, I majored in digital media at the University of Houston, um, and then just kind of freelancing my way through as well through college. Um, I worked at so many different jobs, but one of them that stood out was Apple, being surrounded by different creatives there, and then transitioning to the Houston Rockets, which was like my dream job, right? Growing up playing basketball, combining technology and basketball together. I got a job as a IT help desk analyst with the Houston Rockets. Um, with them, I was able to volunteer my creative services as well. Just help out the social media team with game day stuff or community events whenever I could. So gravitating to the camera again, capturing like highlights, uh, going out with the digital team to like community events as well to do recap videos or um, just be an extra hand to them.
I love that story, and honestly, this is not how I usually would start, but you talked about just quickly that you're a freelancer now, and you're on your own page, your own time, your own
Right.
lifestyle. How did you get to that point? And I can hear the positivity when you say it. How has that lifestyle treated you so far since you've been in that realm?
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew I wanted to freelance full time when I kind of had to leave the tech side of basketball as well. So in order to experience different areas, right? When you're freelance, you're having to adapt to different avenues. So there can be like the wedding industry, the sports industry, the business and brands as well. As you can see the rise of you know 7-second videos on TikTok and now YouTube Shorts. Just understanding what type of content to create now for the mobile phones and the attention span of what we're experiencing right now. So the way I approach it is I create videos that I enjoy, so I stick to sports. That's your and I stick to one sport really. I stick to basketball. I
Hmm.
love basketball. I grew up playing it. Been in the industry as well. So right now I'm helping the grade school athletes, the high school athletes here locally in Houston, generate highlight tapes, and also like shooting maybe like short documentaries.
Talk about your childhood. How was it like growing up? I know you mentioned your father and how you kind of got your photography love from that. And also, how do you think the environment that you were in growing up helped prepare you for where you are today?
Okay. Um, so my parents. are originally from a country in Southeast Asia called Laos. They migrated here about 1975, escaping a communism, the war there. So when they got here, they settled in Houston. Houston is one of the most diverse cities in America.
Hmm.
And my dad always had an interest in technology. He always had a computer at the house. He always had like a photography camera, a video camera, just to kind of like capture memories, right? And just like one day in elementary school, like I can do that too. And learning like I'm not. I separate myself like sometimes when you pick up the camera, you're like, okay, I want to be a filmmaker. Um, at first it was just like making random videos with my sister and just like playing in the backyard, making short little basketball mixtapes with my cousins. Um, but it wasn't really till um, the Nike commercial. Okay, yeah, it was a Nike commercial in 2000 where I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like they're just like freestyling dribbling, and then it was sort of their uh, their take on And One, the street ball movie.
Hmm.
So it wasn't until that commercial and another commercial the NBA made called the Second Coming, where they're just hooping in a airport hangar. I decided to like, okay, I know this is what I want to do. Is I just want to make basketball videos that tell a story. So, I propped a camera up in the backyard and invited my friends over, and we just started hooping, and we were just creating a our version of that commercial. So it's just the love for basketball, the love of technology, and creating art through photography or videography that sparked when I was at a very young age to where I'm at now. It led me to major in digital media at U of H just to sharpen up my skills and learn about the business and pretty much carve out a career for myself making videos.
When you were in high school, what was like your main goal in terms of the type of content you were making? Like, were you working with your high school? Were you working with just regular athletes? Like, what was your main goal in high school?
I was in high school. I was playing basketball, so I didn't really
Hmm.
pick up. I put the camera down a little bit to focus on like passing my classes
Yeah.
and making sure I get to play, right? So I didn't really like took videos serious like ever until like probably my senior year of high school. Um, wasn't getting much playing time, so I was like, what if I took a camera and just like followed our basketball journey? I'm on the bench, I'm in the locker rooms,
Yeah.
I'm on the bus to the road games. Just take it with me, and then while I'm playing, I'll just have like maybe one of my friends in the stands just recording us. So making like short highlight tapes and just like telling the story. I mean, we didn't win that many games, but like it was just fun to make these videos. These are lifelong memories that I have with my friends.
What stood out about the University of Houston that intrigued you so much?
Um, I didn't take high school seriously, so I was just making like B's and C's, right? So I wasn't gonna get into like a good university like D1. Well, yeah, at the time U of H wasn't D1 yet, but my dream school was like USC, like they had a good film school, and I
Hmm.
thought I wanted to like maybe I should be a filmmaker, right?
Yeah.
But this was before like the YouTube boom and social media took over, where you didn't have to make films, you could make short videos, short form content. So U of H just started their digital media program, and I felt like that aligned well with my passion. Um, yeah, we had finals and all that, but like our finals were group projects. It was our like um, what we had was video projects, and we would have to like just create something like whether it be a PSA video or a commercial or maybe a short film, and those were our finals. So I was like, man, this is cool. I don't have to take. I mean, I did have to take some tests, but like the main project is like the
Yeah.
creative project that you're working on. That we learned all these skill sets from Adobe Premiere, After Effects, and we're putting it all to all together for one big project. And we have like this thing called the Red Fest Film Festival, where we get to show it off in front of the whole department.
Has there been, because I know you focus on sports, outside of your learning from the sports marketing perspective, what have been things that you've learned that have helped you be better at producing sports and marketing and photography and videography?
Um, Mainly in basketball, you kind of, I wouldn't say you're like fed the right content. You have to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're on the baseline or sideline, and you just have to get the shot. Like you're not directing anything; things happen live. So you just have to be at the right place, the right time. Make sure things are in focus. I know a lot of creators right now are. I mean, autofocus technology is getting better and better each day
Hmm.
on cameras, but when you master manual focus and just turning the knob yourself, that's a skill set that people hire for, like focus pulling. Um, that's one way, and the you know it's the content's not different. You're either catching a layup, a jump shot, a dunk. So the way you set yourself apart now is through editing and making after like using After Effects to help you create visual effects that are engaging and thumb stopping for social content.
Billy, and I say this because maybe I have someone out there, or you have someone out there that's looking to do what you're doing in the future. What's a piece of advice, or maybe multiple pieces of advice that you would give to someone looking to fill shoes like yours, to help them be better in the career that they're trying to pursue?
I would say, and I don't want to sound cliche or anything, but like you just gotta put your head down and work. Um, if you're trying to get into basketball, you have to be in the network. Like your videos can be super really good, but if you're not in the network, you're not going to get these gigs or opportunities when they come. So, I mean, you can look up the top high school players or top middle school players now um, in your community or whatever, and just create stories off of them. I'm sure that do things for free for a little bit, right? And then you can charge money. But there's probably someone out there in your community that's has a high chance of going to a D1 college. Just go offer highlight tapes for free, or go, hey, let me short a short documentary. Those can be added to your portfolio, and you can present to media outlets like maybe Slam, Balls Life, Overtime. Um, Sometimes they need, videographers in that place where they can't provide. So really create a create create a great portfolio that's always updating with certain videos. Have your Instagram be a mini showcase of your portfolio as well. So when people find you on Instagram, they can click the link and view your portfolio.
Billy, what was college life for you? What were some things you learned? Some places you may have enjoyed around the city, the campus. What was just the college lifestyle like for you, man?
University of Houston was a commuter school, so I didn't get to stay in dorms or anything. I'm born and raised in Houston, so I would just go to class and go to the rec center and hoop, of course, because I love basketball, and then check out the games. Um, Food wise, there's always a McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and where we just kind of like hang out and just talk sports. I wasn't really too crazy in that college party life, but
I got you. That's how I am,
yeah.
man. Um, I found your work while you were with the Houston Rockets, a team that I've watched really for a long, long time. How did you get involved with Houston with the Rockets? How did you get in contact with them? And once you got on board, like just what was that feeling like to just be in that environment and kind of living a lifelong dream?
Man, it's by the grace of God. I mean, I saw an opening one day and I applied and got lucky. It was for an IT help desk position, and I got on full time. And when you work in the IT department, you're helping every single department in that organization, right?
Hmm.
You're helping them with their PCs, their Macs, their iPads. So just being kind and patient with people. You earn their trust. You build relationships. You build lifelong friendships. And it's it's one of the best times of my life because it's the team I grew up watching. And
Yeah,
then I met some of the best people there as well. Some of my best friends are there, and just like it just felt so real being part of the hometown team, and I did it for 8 seasons. Um, but I did have to grow out of it, right? So sometimes you want to play for the the name on the front of the jersey, but sometimes you got to take care about the name on the back of the jersey, right?
I like that. I want to ask you because I think that no matter the field that we're in, everything is developing in a different way. Like everything is changing so quickly. How do you feel that now that you're your own boss? How do you feel that you have an upper advantage on other people maybe in the same field or you in the same area as you about your work? Like, how do you feel you have an upper advantage on people around
Um, Upper advantage, I wouldn't. I guess I would. I don't know. I wouldn't say I had an upper advantage. I think I have relationships.
you?
Because none of my like all of my clients are all word of mouth. Um, for me, I don't think my work is that great sometimes. Like sometimes I just like put out a raw footage of a basketball video or something, and it still does really well on the algorithm. But and that's what the clients want. So right now, locally in basketball, I work with uh, we have a pro am league here in Houston called the Next Pro League. Sometimes I work with them. Locally, I work with sports agencies that have players that live in Houston, right? So when they come back home, they do workouts, they do all their training before they go overseas or to their NBA or NBA G League teams. So I think the advantage I had is just relationships, man. Just being a good person, putting out good work, and just have you know a genuine like person to person relationship.
Can I ask you, and if this is, in your opinion, just kind of reminiscent of what you just said, but how important, because I feel like in a lot of fields, connections and relationships are very, very important in succeeding. How important is it for someone like yourself to have those connections to help try to reach whatever level you're trying to reach?
Very, very important because you just never know everyone you meet, right? You don't know where they're how they're gonna develop. For example, I met someone who was part time, like a part time associate at the Rockets, right? Or and then she eventually grind out and worked her way up to the event side of the arena. And
Hmm.
I treat everybody the same, like interns, part time, whatever. I don't like belittle them or anything. I just like I see them at the same level I was, right?
Yeah.
So uh, she eventually, worked her way up, and then there was an opportunity that came by, and she remembered who I was and what I do, and uh, the opportunity was to do a VIP shoot for Michelle Obama,
Mm. Wow.
and I got recommended to shoot that. So it
Wow.
was a lifetime experience for me, and just by being
Hmm.
kind and building relationships with people, you never know where that could lead for you.
Hmm. Growing up, or and as well as now, do you have any favorite players that you always loved, and kind of just changed the way you love the game as well?
Oh yeah, man, the game changers, right? So I am 5'3". I am a short guard, undersized guard, I guess. Growing up, I was watching um, in the '90s, so started watching Muggsy Bogues, uh,
Hmm.
Charlotte Bobcats. I mean, not Bobcats, Charlotte Hornets at the time, and Steve Francis, of course, got me into the
Stevie
Rockets.
franchise.
Shoot, and then I fell in love with the street ball scene, of course. So Jason Williams, Allen Iverson, all those
Hmm.
guys, and then one day my coach told me, "Hey, you dribble too much and you don't pass the ball." So I had to learn how to pass the ball fundamentally. So I watch a lot of Chris Paul. Chris Paul is my favorite player to this day. And then evolved to like Steph Curry, of course, you know, being an amazing shooter.
I want to ask you, because me being familiar with your work, but others may not be, and I know you do as well, like videography of private practices, private runs. When you're working with maybe a particular player's having a one-on-one workout, what are you specifically looking at to capture? Like, what do you think is the best to kind of take a picture of, take a video of, and put it out?
I got you. So um, I work with Aaron Miller, elite basketball trainer here in Houston. He has clients like Patrick Beverly, Jared Vanderbilt, a lot of NBA guys that are in Houston. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
work with him. Usually he wants video and photo sometimes. So when he puts them through the workout, they do the drill probably down and back twice. So the first time I'm on video mode, I'm capturing, and then the second time I'll just capture a few photos. Then once they get into more of like those one-on-one scrimmage style, I'm strictly just doing video. Usually, what you want to capture is the emotions they go through, maybe the frustrations of not getting the drill right, and then just pushing through it. Um, and just like for the trainer's perspective, they want to show their work, so it's like how what benefits what benefits Aaron is that he does a lot of pistol action work, right? What pistol is, it's a dribble handoff sequence with basketball players where they dribble handoff on each side to come out and score or do a flare pass. So what I do for him is just I show the sequence of how many makes the player makes,
Mm-hmm.
or just kind of like what's the purpose of this drill and how it relates to game time situations. So as a videographer, yeah, I do that part. Not so much like the creative side. This is more like basketball scouting videos as well, and just kind of explaining basketball in general through videography.
Really, one of my favorite passions is music, and I love to get people's taste and what their kind of music taste is. So, who are some of your favorite artists? Some of your favorite songs? Like, what is your music taste like, man?
Uh, I would say don't listen to music that much anymore, but I think I'm stuck in the 2000s right now. So 2000s R&B and hip hop is like my
Mm-hmm.
genre. Uh, early old Drake is kind of my favorite rapper right
Okay.
now. So I still listen to old Drake. Sometimes I dabble into the new music stuff, but just can't get into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Maybe I'm getting older, but
That's valid. I like that. It's valid though.
yeah.
Um, Something I also advocate a lot is my family. Um, and I've talked about that for many years. Just because the love I have for my family, how much they've helped me get to where I am. What has being a husband been like for you, and what has your family meant to you as well?
Being a husband has been great. I support my wife in so many situations, whether it's like the little things, right? Just like leaving a little sticky note on her desk before work, or it's an amazing thing. Like I never thought I would be married, um, just because I don't know. It wasn't in my plan. I was happy being single, but
Yeah.
God had other plans, right? You put someone uh in your life, and you're like, this is your life partner, which you're not supposed to do life alone. Just having someone there with you to go through life with is an amazing thing. And as far as my family, though, both my families, I guess, my parents are they taught me how to grind and just like work for what you want. They got that immigrant like grit and hustle, just like my in-laws as well. My in-laws are from Central America, so they own their own business. They taught me how to kind of like persevere, like go through the hard times because there's great times at the end as well, right? There's ups and downs with owning your own business. So I've learned a lot of like hustle and grit from my family, and that's what I kind of like represent.
I like that. I love that a lot, actually. Do you get to travel much and do your work, or is it mainly just focused in Houston?
Mainly focused in Houston. I would like to travel now. Like I
Hmm.
would like to work for like a media outlet like Slam, and maybe just do one or two shoots with them. With NBA players, of course, being in the arenas, you
Yeah.
have to get PR approval. Um, handler alert. But you have to get like media credentials approved to be in those arenas and shoot photos. Um, so one day I'd probably like to go to each and every arena and capture each team.
I love this. I love to ask this question because I always get a different, diverse answer, and it also introduces me to people I maybe never heard of. But if you could have dinner with three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Three people, man. All right. Uh, let's go Barack Obama. One.
I love that.
That's my political guy. So let me see. Entertainment guy wise, I would three people. Man, I'll do Steph Curry one. One more.
Okay.
That's my basketball person I've been with, and then shoot, this is hard, man. Uh, three people.
Putting y'all on the spot with these questions.
I know. Let me put Drake in there once as
Okay,
an entertainer.
that's valid. That's very valid. Those
Got
are
basketball entertainer and world leader right there.
very three different perspectives. Very fun conversation. I learned a lot. I like that a lot, actually. Um, what's your one piece of advice that you would give to anyone listening? Whether it's about life in general, maybe something you've learned from your career, from your family. What's one piece of advice you would give someone listening to help them better their lives?
One piece of advice. Man, I would say I always tell people this too when they meet people. So when you, I guess, when you meet people, um, in the industry or in life in general, just be relatable, relate to them person to person. You never know what they're going through or whatnot, but just be kind, work hard, and to achieve whatever dreams you're looking out for. Like just a reminder that if it doesn't work out, you can dream again. Um, and yeah, I think I don't know. These are like random like advice I have in my head. So one of
Uh-huh.
them is be kind, be relatable, keep dreaming. If it doesn't work out, keep fighting for what you really want to do.
I like that. And
Yeah.
it's authentic, and I'm glad you said it's just kind of random and off the top of your head
Yeah,
because
man.
that's,
Like you just be scrolling through Instagram one day and just read, oh, that's a good quote. All right, that's another good
yeah.
quote. All right, now it's just bunched into like in my head to like
Uh-huh.
I need a better way to spit this out. But yeah,
I appreciate that. I like that a lot. Um, and what's a legacy? And I say that because it's something I also talk about a lot. What's something that maybe a lot of people don't know about yourself, it's something that you try to express. Like, what's something you want people to always remember about you?
uh, man, I don't want my identity to be like tied to basketball, but basketball did have a big part of my life.
Hmm.
And creating videos as well. I think I want my legacy to be about like, yeah, I'm a good person. I lift people up, and I'm always a resource to the people I care about. That's kind of like my legacy, right? Just being a good person, being a resource when needed, and just live a good life, man. You might have to be all serious.
I like that. It's a peace and compassion that everyone doesn't have, and I hope they can find it at some point. So I'm glad that you shared that with us in the way that you did as well. And I want to ask you one more thing. Outside of what you do in your career, man, like what are some of your hobbies that you spend a lot of time doing, or that kind of relax your mind? What are some of the things you do on a day-to-day basis outside of basketball and your career?
Yeah. Outside of basketball, outside of growing up with basketball, I still grew up with like '90s cartoons and '90s video games. So the whole nostalgia thing does really kick into me to where like, for example, let me scroll over. this thing right here is a Game Boy Color. I I'm always on eBay and
Oh
I'm always
God.
like trying to relive my childhood to where like I custom mod Game Boys for fun. Like I put a LCD screen on here for some reason. But like I grew up watching like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff to where like I'm still watching it today. I know, but it's just like the way Pokemon works is like, man, it's a story about a journey that lasts for like 25 years. So sometimes I do get hooked into those shows and I rewatch them like every now and then. I have it on while I'm editing or something like that. And I still play the video games. Play a lot of NBA 2K as a hobby. Uh, Really just want to get back into like traveling since COVID died down.
Mhm.
Me and my wife just really took a trip to Colorado. Next week I'm going to Lake Tahoe just to chill with some friends. Just
That's awesome.
relax in the midst of all the work. Since when you're full time freelance, you kind of have to schedule your breaks now. Like sometimes I don't get to schedule like, oh, I get a Saturday off or a Sunday off. Nah, sometimes it's an event I gotta film, right? So got scheduled time off. It's needed.
Thank you for sharing that. That kind of is a empathetic way of saying always be you, and
Oh yeah, man.
I love that.
If I can be a professional me for a living, I'll do it.
Billy, for anyone that may want to reach you on social media, are you willing? Could you share your Instagram, Twitter, anything, Facebook that you have with the people so they can reach out, follow you?
Yeah. Right now I'm in a rebranding process, but on Instagram I'm at Billy Mounchan. That's Billymounchan. Same thing for Twitter as well. Billy Mounchan. And YouTube as well.
Billy, I want to tell you thank you for coming on with me. Taking a little bit of time out of your schedule, coming to talk with me, sharing your journey, sharing your work. It's meant a lot, and I love your authenticity and your love for what you're doing and what you shared with me today. Appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate you for having me on, and keep on putting out these good episodes, man.
I appreciate that, man, and continue following your dreams and working hard. I love what you're doing. I hope this episode can have other people reach out and appreciate and love what you're doing as well. So again, thank you, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. It means a lot, and I hope you guys are enjoying these as much as I am because not only is this my brand, but I've always said that I love to help people, and I'm hoping I can help other people share their stories and allow other people to reach out to these people with their stories and just say thank you for sharing your story because it meant a lot to hear it. So I hope I've been doing really well at that and just producing really good interviews lately. So thank you for your love, your support, everyone. Continue staying loved and blessed, and tell your people you love them as well. There's a lot of tragic things going on right now, so continue just blessing your people around you. Thank you all. God bless everyone.